Stay tuned for the Joan Quinn Profiles. Joan served the state of California as a member on the Arts Council and on the Film Commission. She was formerly on the Architectural Commission and fulfilled 2 terms on the Fine Arts Commission for the city of Beverly Hills. As an editor for Andy Warhol's Interview magazine, Condé Nast Publications, and the Hearst Corporation, Joan covered the world of fashion, the mysteries of food, the excitement of theater, and the international art scene. She continues to find people who are on the cutting edge of their professions. Here's Joan AGAJAINIan Quinn.
Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome to the Joan Quinn Profiles. We're taping here at the Hollywood Museum in the historic Max Factor building, and we're on Highland Avenue at Hollywood Boulevard. And our guests are director David Galligan and actress Mary Elizabeth Boylan. Award-winning director David Galligan has directed theater all over the world, and for more than 30 years he's actually put together this show for stage, STAGE, Southland Theater Artists Goodwill Event. It's the longest running annual AIDS benefit in the world, and it's quite an achievement that you could do that. I don't think they can do this without you, David.
Never say that, because they'll prove you wrong. Yeah, but it is. I was just saying to you, I've got a line for every year.
No lines.
Well,
you love it.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
What about, how did it start? Let's talk about it, because it was more than 30 years ago, really important as it is now.
Yes, although I think through the years, the last 5 years, I think AIDS is no longer, oh, this is going to sound terrible, but I'm going to say it anyway. It used to be so popular as a disease for people to give to, and I don't think it's the disease of the month anymore.
Isn't that terrible to say that?
Yeah, but
when
I
we
think
still
it's true.
when we still need someone like you to raise the awareness and bring.
So many people think it's been cured because of the cocktail, so they think that you don't have to worry about it because you can do. And I think some of the people that have it think
Same way. Yeah, there's so many diseases, and as you say, they turn out to be the disease of the moment, which is so unfair.
It is unfair.
So, do you remember your first show?
My first show was, do you remember Jack Viertel? He's now a big deal with the Jansen Theaters.
Right, as producer and
and director and writer and so on and so forth. He came to me and he was writing for the Herald Examiner, and he said,
where I was writing.
And he said, you know what, I think we belong to the Drama Critics Circle, LA Drama Critics Circle. Anyway, he said, I think you'd make a good director, and I'd like you to direct the Drama Critics Circle, which was awards.
Yes.
And that's how it started. It was held at Pike's Verdugo Oaks in the old days, which was like a little fly-by-night bar, and it's kind of not too thrilling to have Michael Bennett and Donna McKechnie stand up to get an award at Pike's Verdugo Oaks. At any rate,
it's like the Sportsman's Lodge when they moved to give awards there too.
So he said, I said, no, I'm not interested in directing. And he said, come on. And I said, all right, give me 24 hours. So I went back home and spoke to my partner, and he said, I think you should do it. And I said, I don't think so. He said, I think you should. So I slept on it, and I went back, called Jack up, and I said, okay, I'll do it. But it has to be in a theater. It has to have complete autonomy. I have to have this. I was making demands like I knew what I was doing. So I did do it, and it was glorious. It was fantastic, and I thought, wow. And Julie Andrews, I put her in the show. Everything was like...
So how did that happen? It was in a theater then, like you wanted?
What I wanted, yeah.
Where was it?
It was at the Variety Arts downtown.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Lovely place. And then did you write the script and then cast it, or did you just cast the people and then write it?
I think I directed it. That's a good question. I have written stuff, but I don't know if I wrote that.
What I'm getting at is the show written ahead of time? Or,
yes.
Oh, it is written ahead of time.
You know, I got people like Charles Pierce, who, famous female impersonator, to do costume and lights. And at any rate.
So the first show was what? Let's see, who was at the first show that you did at the Variety Arts?
Robert Preston, we honored. And I had Julie Andrews give him his award. Gene Simmons, the wonderful film actress.
Wow.
Gene Simmons, Charles Pierce, I did a Sondheim review with Donna McKechnie and Pam Myers and Lawrence Guitar. It was just, I knew no boundaries at all because I was a beginner. So, I mean, and everybody said yes, so I thought it was going to be that way forever.
Had you been directing
No.
different you hadn't been
I never
directing
directed
plays?
at all.
This was actually your first time?
It was my first time, yeah.
But your partner was Ray Strickland,
Right.
a great actor. Did he give you any hints about what to do?
No. And he also won that year. He also won for Vous Carré, the Karen Kardashian, that she's played opposite him in the Tennessee Williams Vous Carré at the Beverly Hills Plaza.
Yeah, oh, yes, I remember.
So he
Vous
won the
Carré,
Best
right.
Actor of the Year, so we were kind of very happy at home.
I guess you were. You were directing for the first time. Well,
Right.
then, did this bring directing
Yes,
to the
somebody came to me
forefront
and
for
said,
you?
Now, who came to me? Michael Kearns, James Carroll Pickett came to me and said, there's a disease that's attacking gay men, and we want to do a benefit. And the disease had no name. It
Is that right? Was that early on?
Yes.
In the early 80s? No,
Yes,
yeah.
82.
Yeah, early 80s.
So I said, of course. And they said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to get Susan Obrow, who was a partner of mine, not a partner, but a cohort, and we'll all produce it and I'll direct it, and I'd like to do the theater music of Leonard Bernstein. And lo and behold, I wrote to his company, and they said, of course.
For what it was, because it
And
was
of
a
course,
benefit.
So I went there and I had, again, no, I didn't have, they gave me an old water-stained backdrop from the Amazon, Bobby Fryer. And so I, again, didn't know anything, and they had little Juliets, they're called, and they're like little balconies on stage left or right, and they called them for Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, that's why.
So I put, I was going to do Tonight, from West Side, and I did that with the Maria up there and the Tony down there, and then I couldn't think of what to do with Donna McKechnie, and she was doing Cool. So I found a loading dock door up center, and it was on a chain pulley. And I said, would somebody just pull that? And it opened up and to a parking lot and the skyline of Los Angeles. So I said, oh, you know what? So the two guys danced on. They pulled on the thing.
Oh, my gosh.
I had everybody turn on their car lights. She's caught in this car lights with all of Los Angeles in back of her, and it didn't cost anything.
Fantastic.
That was
really
and that
fantastic.
was the beginning.
And those are things that you'll never forget.
No.
And they'll never happen again either. So then were people knocking on your door, come direct my play, come direct this,
yes,
come
that
direct
started
that?
it, yeah.
So had you gone to school?
For that, no.
You were born and raised in San Francisco,
Yes, I
I
was,
assume.
yeah.
And you were acting in San Francisco.
I wasn't acting in San Francisco, and then I came down here to become a movie star. Yeah, right.
Is that what you did?
I was
I was
an
going to
actor,
ask, why did you come to LA then?
I was an actor, yeah. I came down here and did not meet with great acclaim, and but I kept sticking it out, and finally I was doing a tour with George Gobel of The Impossible Years. This is not very good play.
And you were acting in
yes,
it?
Yes, and wherever we went, it was not successful. And we got to Chicago, and they said the whole plot of the piece was I'm trying to say it nicely. Who slept with his daughter? Which of the young boys? To say it nicely. And we got to Chicago, and I raced down because they said, well, this is where George Gobel's fans are all. And I raced down to get the Chicago Sun-Times, and I opened it up, and it said, remember the plot? It said, suffice to say, I would be more worried about my daughter with my son than my daughter with any of these young men.
You're kidding.
No,
that was in the paper?
Thank you. That was the end of my career.
That was the end.
I said bye-bye.
Well, so here you were in L.A.
Right.
And then you started doing
journalism.
stage.
I started doing journalism, and I was
you
doing
did?
journalism.
Writing
yeah.
for whom?
Dramalog for years.
Oh.
I did all of their major interviews, and it was an actor's trade paper. And I did that for a while, and then that's how I was a member of the Drama Critics Circle, and then the directing thing took off, and I left that.
That's perfect. So you've been directing
Ever
nonstop because you're always busy. How do you choose something to direct?
Well, you don't always. Sometimes
They choose you?
Sometimes they find you, and sometimes you unfortunately need the money. So you have to. I wish I was a be able to pick and
When
choose.
you mentioned Leonard Bernstein when we started with the stage directing for the benefit. Do you pick a subject every year? I mean, you've done it for 30 years. Do you pick a subject?
Yes, I did, but I unfortunately ran out of people. So no, I finally Cole Porter. It was like I doing some of them twice. I think I did the Gershwins 3 times.
I see. That's what I was wondering. Is that
right?
How you choose it, and then everything kind of works around that?
And now with such an apathy to music, I'm going to try and put it. It's, and I'll tell you a quick story.
That kind of music.
I'm working with the brothers Gershwin. I'm not working with them, but I'm doing a show about them. And I've got 30 dancers on stage, and I'm teaching them Our Love Is Here to Stay. And so I'm polite. I say, thank you so much for doing this. And I know you all love the Gershwins, and I could see by their faces that there was nobody home. And I said, you do know who the Gershwins were? And one girl raised her hand and she said, isn't his music for the United Airlines, which does Rhapsody in Blue? I said, oh my God, please don't. And she said, but I don't know who his wife is. Meaning Ira, his brother. So I'm like, whoa, isn't this wonderful?
But it is so interesting.
They don't care and they don't know.
I know, that's so interesting, because I said something about someone the other day, and they had never even heard of the person, and it's not as old as the Gershwins.
No, and look at these people.
I know you walked in and knew Idol immediately. And I
had interviewed her. I had interviewed her for Andy Warhol's interview.
Oh, did you do that? Because I was at interview too.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are.
And I loved Idol Pino.
You worked for Sally. You directed her, Sally Struthers. I don't know what it was in.
It was always Patsy Cline.
Patsy Cline, the best. Yeah. It was great. And you also worked for Valerie Pettiford, who's a totally different, two different things.
It's almost like actor studio. You have to become those people. So sometimes I was, a short white woman.
Patsy Cline.
Patsy Cline. And other times I was, a medium height.
Black girl.
Black dancer, of...
Well, I don't know. She sings, doesn't she, Valerie?
Yeah, she had a Tony nomination for Flossie.
Oh, so, and then if you have something on the stage, what was the last thing on stage, say?
I just did an interesting thing with Lisa Vroman at an art gallery, and he gave me carte blanche, and I said, first I wanted to do art songs, and then I changed my mind because I thought that was boring. So musically, I had them clear off all the art off the walls. And then she came on and she discussed White, a blank canvas, which is a steal from Sunday in the Park. And then I found this video that is controlled by your voice. So she was doing something from Sunday, which is color and light, and she would go red, 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 blue. And you put this blue shooting on.
Oh, how great. Behind on the white wall?
Behind the white walls. Then I found something. This is for another number, but as she walked, these tendrils would grow, take over the walls, and then these flowers would grow. And
like automatic,
right,
whatever.
And then we did finishing the hat, and I brought forth all the hats from art from over the years, and so on and so forth. But it was really something. I'm going to do it again.
But that was a challenge for you, looking for new things to do,
absolutely
right?
Absolutely new, completely. I'd never worked with video before.
And I also have been seeing this going back to small venues, different venues, like a restaurant or a coffee shop or a beauty shop.
Right.
And what you're talking, an art gallery.
It was an art gallery, and it was all natural sound, so it wasn't mic'd at all.
Well, I know you're still experimenting because you have a lot of directing time left.
Well, yeah.
And congratulations on the stage
so
benefits. Much. And thank you for being with us.
Thank you for asking me. It's nice to see you.
I've been asking you for years.
Okay, well, here I am.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joan.
Don't go away. We're leaving David Galligan now, but we're going to be talking to actress Mary Elizabeth Boylan. Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome back to the Joan Quinn Profiles. We're taping here at the Hollywood Museum on Highland Avenue in the heart of Hollywood. And I'm with actress, screenwriter, producer, Mary Elizabeth Boylan, who was born and raised outside Cleveland, Ohio, graduated from Ohio State, trained with the Cleveland Ballet and studied at Playhouse West and the Australian School of Dramatic Arts in Los Angeles. I never even knew there was an Australian School of Dramatic Arts. Where did it come from?
Yeah, the head of the school is Paul Parker, and he was an actor on a major TV show in Australia for many years, and so he has a school here and a school in Australia as well.
And so, so he has both.
Yeah,
does he go back and forth?
He does, yes.
Does he teach you the accent?
He'll teach you just about anything, but yeah, his accent is perfect.
So right now your biggest project is Getting Lemons.
Correct.
And it's a film. Is it a short film or a feature length?
Yeah, it was a short film. It's now being developed into a pilot.
Which is,
So,
a pilot
yes.
rather than a full length film.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because when I premiered it just for family and friends and
In Ohio.
anybody, actually, it premiered originally in Santa Monica in 2012. When I first completed it, we just did a small screening. It was just like 200 people and friends and family, and everyone said this feels like they want to see more and they want to hear more about this girl's story. And then we did all the film festivals. We did about 5 festivals total, and it was like, what should I do next? And I said, well, I'm starting to feel what everyone was saying.
How long is a short film?
It's 12 minutes.
Oh, it's only 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And to do a screening, what other stuff did you have to do around it to get people there for 12 minutes?
You know, I was so blessed to have so many friends and people supportive of it, and so many people in the industry that were supportive of me and that helped me make it. I was really shocked.
Usually a short film then goes into feature film, right?
Right. Well, yeah, typically, exactly. That's usually what you do. But the film is very outside of the box, so I thought, I'm going to do something outside of the box and turn it into a pilot.
So let's go back to see how you got into this acting and what the path was since you were 2 years old. How did this 2-year-old who could barely walk be dramatic?
My mom had me in dance class. Swear to God, I was 2. I was 2 years old. I performed the first time I was 3.
Can you remember? Can you remember some of that?
No, but I found my little tap shoes.
I know you have pictures,
And
but
stuff, but no, I can't remember. I do remember as a little girl, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 or something.
Yeah, that you can
I remember
remember.
rebelling against the whole line of tap dancers and like ending it in my own way. And my mother must have just been like, oh my God, that's my child. So I think.
And I put her there.
Yeah, exactly. This is all my fault.
And I put her there.
Yeah, my dad wanted me to do like horseback riding lessons, and my mom put me in
But
dance
your mom
class.
did want you to train as a ballerina. And you did train with the Cleveland Ballet?
Yeah, I was really blessed to train with Mark Otlotsky at the Cleveland Ballet way back when, and he was incredible.
How long were you there?
Well, I only trained there briefly. I did train in New York, too, at Broadway Dance Center and Steps, but I toured with a company called Jazz Energy out of Studio 82.
Oh, so it changed then to a different kind of dancing.
Yeah, I was...
rebelling again.
Again.
Rebelling again.
That's me, Joan. I'm just a big old rebel.
So when you were studying then you went to, did you go on tour first before you went to Ohio State?
No, actually, I never toured with the Cleveland Ballet. I just trained
I meant
there.
with the other group.
I
the
did
jazz
tour
group.
with the jazz company, and then I went to Ohio State, and I was in school to be a doctor.
Oh, I was wondering what you were studying. Nothing, another rebel.
Yeah, well, I just thought it's time to get serious. I always had the grades, so I was scholarship.
Oh, you
Going to
did.
be a doctor. My mom was a nurse. My stepmom is a hospital administrator, and so I just thought that was what I was supposed to do. And I quickly learned that I suck at math and chemistry, and I'm not introverted, and I didn't do well.
Introverted? Oh, listen to
I don't
this.
have the attention span. You know, being a doctor is such a focus. I wanted to help people and save people, but I don't think they would have wanted me to do that for them.
But
so.
how'd you get into the school? You got into the school because you had good grades
Yeah, I
and
was
you were...
a complete nerd.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Then how did this big rebel come out of the nerdness?
Well, I think I just missed performing eventually. I think college for me was figuring out everything I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
And finding out that I still wanted to be on stage.
So after I thought this was very interesting. After college, you went to Miami.
Yeah.
But not to New York and not to LA.
Right.
Were you following a career to Miami?
I did meet the head of a modeling agency who was at a club I was working at in Columbus, Ohio, at Ohio State, who said, I want to sign you, come and do some print work. So I just left.
And you went to Miami?
I moved to Miami. I was bartending and doing print work. And I paid off as much of my student loans as I could, and out to LA I went. So.
Had you ever thought of like going to LA before from Columbus?
Yeah.
Oh, you had?
Yeah.
So it was in your...
Yeah, it was always the plan. It just kind
Had you taken any acting lessons in Columbus?
Well, I had a minor in acting in college.
Oh,
I
so
did
you
sort
did?
of figure it out. And then, yes, the whole time I was in Miami, I was doing nothing but training, so...
So you were training in Miami. You came to LA. You did a lot of improv.
I did. I trained at UCB. I did 2 years of improv shows at the Next Stage Theater.
So that's what opened the nerd up. Because in
something like-
improv, you have to
Something
really
like
get
that.
up and talk, right, and do things.
Yeah.
Without a script.
Yes, no, that's definitely true. It's
So
not
that's
scripted.
great training.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Were you writing your own things?
Not at that time. I never thought I would be a writer. I had no idea that would ever come about.
So you were just learning from the Australians. You were you were
Something like that.
improving. So did you continue to do work on stage? Were you acting in the theater?
No, in fact, I did do a lot of that, and then I did a couple of smaller movies and shorts, and then I moved actually back home to Ohio because my mom got sick and passed. And then I don't know what happened, that just lit a fire under me, and I
And
came
that's
back
when Getting
and started,
Lemons.
Yeah, Getting Lemons was inspired by that, so I just wrote it and shot it, and yeah.
Was it right after she passed?
Yeah, it was shortly after that, but that's when I really
Was it
started
like
working.
a catharsis for you? Did it help you get through the tragedy of losing your mom?
I don't know if it was so much about that. What I went through, I actually lost like 5 people in a year. And I wanted to inspire other people because that's a common thing. You know, you always hear about people when they lose somebody, they lose this person, and then this happens, and then they lose their job, and stuff
Like
always
a
happens.
really down
Yeah, it piles up in your life.
spiral.
Yeah, so I just wanted to do something that would inspire people out of that.
But I love the logo for the film, Getting Lemons, because here we brought lemon. We didn't bring
Oh my
lemons for you.
That's
but
awesome.
we have,
How
but we have
wonderful.
lemons, the real lemons. And I love it that you say, you know, you can make great lemonade, because
Yeah.
that's a really good way to look at things.
I think you don't have a choice. You either drown or not. And there's something inside of all of us, I think, that brings us out of that part of our lives. So
you said you worked in film a little bit. A breakout film was what, Parched?
yeah, Parched was my first festival film that I did that did well in the festival circuit.
What was that about?
It's a Western. It won Best Western at the Action on Film
I know you won a
International
lot
Festival.
of awards. Even Antisocial Behavior won awards, didn't it?
Yeah,
That's interesting. International stuff.
Yeah, it's like I seem to be I have these wonderful little films that seem to do really well in
Are they
festivals.
short films too?
No, it's been mostly features.
Those were features?
Yeah, so it's been really nice. I've
So
been very blessed.
Antisocial Behavior?
Yes, that's a horror film. I play the female lead, and it won everything. Every festival it went to, it did well.
They love horror films.
Yeah.
And then what about Parched? That sounds like that kind of film.
That was fun. I got to be dirty and shoot guns.
But it was a
and-
Western, right?
Yeah.
It
wear
wasn't a horror
corset.
film?
Yeah. Shoot in the desert. It was great.
So then it led into Getting Lemons, which was a winner.
Yeah.
You won Best Actress.
I did. I'm very
Back
honored to
again.
say I won.
And what? Best Woman Playwright?
I was nominated for Best Female Filmmaker, and it was nominated for Best Musical. There is a musical number in it. It's not actually a musical, but
yeah, but the musical number got nominated.
Yeah.
And then you took it to Ohio. That was
My home
more
state.
family and friends,
yes,
right?
exactly. I was really honored to be in an upcoming film festival in Columbus.
Yeah,
so.
but that's new. What,
Yeah, film
what does that
festival-
film festival do?
Film Festival of Columbus, there's actually a commission, a film commission headed up by John Doherty in Columbus, and they're doing incredible things to make the city a hub of filmmaking for the entire country.
So are they bringing filmmakers into Columbus?
Yeah.
So, because they're giving them tax breaks, obviously.
Well,
or
that and they're just trying to support young filmmakers, up-and-coming filmmakers and actors
besides.
and
Oh,
writers
I
and stuff.
see.
So it's the third year, and it was
I know, it's
wonderful.
brand new.
Yeah, and it was such an honor to be back in my home state. And the
But
state.
that was really in keeping with their mission to bring you back, young filmmaker, and you were
Yeah.
from there. That must have been fabulous.
It was such an honor. I was so honored. I was so honored.
So-
Hi, everybody in Columbus.
Hi, everybody. So what's next before we leave? Because you've been a great inspiration to others.
Oh, thank you.
And I think you wanted to do this. This
Yeah.
is part of your what you want to do for others.
Well, I just shot a film. I can't even believe the cast. I worked on a film called Juveniles with Stephen Moyer, Kathleen Rose Perkins, Kevin Alejandro, Martin Henderson. I just was pinching myself the whole time being on set and working with such incredible talent. So that's not done yet, but that'll, I'm assuming, come out at the end of this year.
And are you writing?
Well, I'm writing the pilot, Getting Lemons,
for
right
Getting
now.
Lemons?
It's, the first draft is done, and we're just pitching it, and it's in development. And so that's kind of consuming my entire life right
What
now.
else? Producing? Are you producing
Yes,
anything?
Not, I'm going to take up gardening.
Okay.
I figured I might go to law school.
Okay.
You know.
In your spare time?
Yeah, in my spare time, I'm getting a little bored here. So.
Mary Elizabeth Boylan, we're going to watch you break out of that box and be the rebel.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Joan, for having me. It was a
And
pleasure.
thanks for watching
Thank
the
you.
Joan Quinn Profiles. Keep writing to my email, JAQUINN1 @AOL.com. Bye.